This is a brief tutorial that's going to show you how to get started with creating a Google site that is attached to your Dexter Schools Gmail. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and log in to your Dexter Schools Google account. Then at the waffle over here, this little 3x3 grid, you're going to click on it. And what you're looking for is something that says Sites. It'll be blue with like a folded up page there. If you don't see Sites within your main apps menu here, you may need to click on More. If you still don't see it, you may need to click on Even More. And eventually that'll take you to a page that looks like this, that'll show you all of the different apps that are available to you. We want Sites. When you go in, you're likely to see, sorry, I'm on the wrong student here. What you're likely to see when you log into the sites is that there are not any websites here already. In this demonstration, I've started off with a single web page that's already been created by this user, but yours is probably blank. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to create a site. So you'll click on Create. You have the choice to start with a plain blank template or to browse the gallery for some pre-made templates. Let's start in this one with a blank template. We're going to give our site a name, and the first one we're going to call Test Site for Web Pages. And then I'm going to put my initials at the end of it. So everyone's going to say Test Site for Web Pages and then have your initials after it. I'm going to go ahead and select a theme for my site. So this isn't going to put any content, but it's going to give sort of a look and feel to it. And you can see there's a whole bunch of different themes that you can pick from. Some of them are a little bit fancy, some of them are quite plain. Pick one that looks appealing to you and we're going to go with that. Once I've selected a theme, the Create button becomes active up top. And I'm going to go ahead and create my site. It may take a minute. And once the site pops up, you'll see that it is initially populated. You're going to start at a home page, and there will be the background and the theme that you've chosen. All right, so here's my basic website. You can see it created for me a home page, and it's got a pretty basic layout. Let me show you some ways you can edit this. At the top here, you have a thing that looks like a pencil. When you click on that, it allows you to edit the page. Once you've clicked on that, an editing toolbar shows up. You can type things in. You can do things like format your text. You can change the color. You can change the fonts. You can change the background. You can make things be a link. So for example, when you hit Create Link, you can either link to a different page or to a different URL, like an outside website. You have your other formatting options available to you here. You can also insert things like images. You can insert some more text, or you can insert documents from your Google Drive. Formatting does give you many of the same things as are in this toolbar here. If you felt the need to insert a table in here, which can sometimes help organize things, you can. The layout option changes the layout of your whole web page. So right now it's a one column, so this section here is just a single column. If I click on two column, now the section here is two columns. If I go in here and I do three columns, now it adds a section with three columns, and you can see you add different sections with different widths in there. And then there's some help information in there. As you're making these changes, you do need to periodically save the changes that you've made to your site. In order to add a new page, you're going to click on the Create page. So this one might be sub-page 1. You're going to give it a name that goes with whatever the content of that page is. Your choices here are a standard basic web page. I would suggest don't use the announcements, file cabinet list, and start page ones. Let's stick to a standard web page. We can either put that page at the top level of our site, or we can nest it underneath our home page. We're going to go ahead and nest it underneath our home page and create this new page. The new page automatically takes on the formatting options of the main page. And notice now it is underneath our home page. By default, this section down below with comments is included in here. So we can go ahead and save this. We can also make changes to these pages. So in this More Actions, let me show you how to change a bunch of things now that we've created our pages. So revision history just shows you what changes have been made to these pages recently. You don't really need to worry about that. Subscribe to page changes. If you were an owner of a site and someone else was changing it, you might want to know that. We've got a bunch of other stuff, but what I want to skip down here is some things on the page template and then the site actions. So we need to make sure we're clear on the difference between a site and a page. So a page is one single thing that you view in a browser at a time. So right now I am looking at the sub-page 1 page. That's part of a larger site, the test site for web pages. So for example, Amazon is a website, and the Amazon website has lots of pages underneath it for all the different products and services that they provide. So the content here changes a particular page. The content here changes the whole site. So we've got a couple of things for the whole site that are useful to know about. One is editing the site layout. So this is overall the different ways that we can organize stuff on our web page. By default, it's going to put links to the various sub-pages down the left-hand side. That's called a sidebar. But we can change that. We can have horizontal navigation. We can change it to, we can make a custom footer, we can make a header. We have a bunch of different things in here that we can change. So, you can play around if you want the sidebar or you don't want the sidebar. If you want horizontal navigation or you don't want it, you can make those changes and play around with it. The site width you can leave as your theme default width, or you can set it to be a specific size. All right. Another thing you may want to do is manage the site. This lets us change the look and feel of the site. So within here, this is the site name. These here where it says site categories, those might be some search terms people would use. But what we really want is we want to head all the way down here to the themes, colors, and fonts. To change the look and feel of our web page is down here. Now I selected this background theme that had the little checks on it. And right now that theme is being applied to the entire page. That theme affects the background as well as the text on the website. So the background right now, the color for the background is dictated by the patchwork theme. The image, any pictures on the background, go with the patchwork themes. You can change those though. Suppose that I didn't want there to be any image on the background. Notice those little check marks went away when I click none. If I click back to the theme, they come back. I can also change the color. Let's say that instead of this sort of bluishy, funky color there, let's say that I want a custom color. Maybe I want this to be purple. Okay, that looks a little bit strange, but there it is. That's how you can change the background. Suppose that instead I wanted to use a custom image for the background. Maybe I want the background to be some kind of a beach there. Okay. I can choose different images to be my background. So now my background on my site is a beach instead of just, oh, but look at that color on there. It's nasty. A bunch of those colors look just terrible. So I can also change the colors of the text there. Again, right now, all of the attributes of the text go with the theme. The font belongs to the theme. The color belongs to the theme. The size belongs to the theme, etc. But I can customize those as well. Maybe now that I've turned this into a beach page, maybe I want all of the text to be a slightly more muted brownish color. That's nice. That changed a bunch of these. But these down here are still hot pink. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's because those are links. Maybe I'd like my links to be in sort of a dark green color. There we go. Okay. So we can play around with changing different things until we get the look and feel of the entire page to be what we want it to be. Okay. So the entire page, notice that's affecting the background and the text on the whole page. The site header is going to affect this area up here. So again, if I want to make a custom color for that, I can. If I want to make the title of it be a particular color, I can do that. I can do all kinds of funky things. And then in the content area, I can change the background. So you can play around with the content area where you type your information in there. You can change the sidebar. That's this stuff over here. So I would encourage you to go ahead and play around with these different things you can change to change the look and feel of your page. You can always reset everything back to the main theme. And this first site that we're working on, it doesn't really matter if the look and feel of it is all nasty because this site is just for playing around with it. We're going to trash it when we're done anyway. Okay. So we can reset all the stuff you would like. We can also change the theme after we've created it. So there are both themes and templates. I was thinking that was going to get me to a theme. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go back into Manage Site, Themes, Colors, and Fonts. All right, instead of patchwork, here we go. So let's say I didn't like the original theme I had. Maybe I want something that's a little bit softer. Maybe I want to change to a sunset. So it changes everything to this sunset theme, and now I can make changes based on that. So the first thing I'd like you to do is spend a while exploring around in the Manage Site option until you can get a sense of how to change the look and feel of a site within Google Sites.